I'm going to say the thing most people are too embarrassed to admit. I'm in my 60s and I have virtually nothing saved for retirement. No 401k, no investments, no safety net, just a full-time job, a dream of seeing the world, and a growing suspicion that retiring abroad might actually be possible for someone in my situation. This channel is me figuring it out in real time and taking you with me. If you're behind too, you're in the right place. If you appreciate this type of content, please tap that like button. Let's get into it. So let me back up and tell you who I am, because I think you'll recognize yourself in at least part of this story. I spent more than 30 years working as a legal secretary. That's 30 years of showing up, being reliable, supporting other people's work, and quietly telling myself that someday I'd figure out my own financial future. For a lot of those years, I was doing it as a single mom, so I wasn't just covering my own expenses. I was covering everything, for both of us, on one income. There wasn't a lot left over at the end of the month. There was barely anything. And like a lot of people in that situation, I tried. I looked for ways to bring in extra money. This was before the internet made side income accessible to anyone with a laptop. In the non-digital era, your options were limited by how many hours you had and how much physical energy you had left over after a full workday. I did what I could. For 8 years, I worked as a massage therapist on the side, building a clientele, giving up weekends, running on fumes some weeks. I tried other things too over the years. None of it ever built into anything lasting. It just helped me get through. I was always going to start saving, always going to open a retirement account, always going to deal with it later. Later arrived, and I hadn't dealt with it. Now I work full-time with a remote job, and while I'm grateful for that flexibility, I'll be honest with you, it hasn't built toward anything either. No pension, no retirement matching, just a paycheck that covers the month and a little extra. So here's where I actually stand right now. I have almost nothing set aside. My realistic retirement income is Social Security. And if you've looked at those numbers, the average monthly benefit right now is around $2,082. That's it. That's what most people in my situation are working with. In most American cities, that benefit doesn't cover rent. It doesn't come close. So when I first got honest with myself about this, the picture looked pretty bleak. Keep working as long as possible. Hope nothing goes wrong. Quietly panic every time I thought about it too long. I was watching a YouTube video, which honestly is where most of my research happens these days. And it was about people who had retired abroad. Not wealthy people, not people with fat pension checks or investment portfolios that they'd been building since their 20s. Regular people, people living full, comfortable, genuinely happy lives in Portugal, Thailand, Colombia, Panama, on incomes close to what Social Security alone provides. And something shifted for me. The problem was never the income. The problem was the assumption I'd been making about what retirement had to cost. Change the location and the math changes completely. What feels like not enough in the United States can actually be enough, and then some, in a lot of places around the world. Now I want to be clear, I am not already doing this. I am not making this video from a cobblestone street somewhere in Europe. I am at my desk, still working full-time, still running the numbers, still in the research phase. But the more I dug into this idea, the more I realized it wasn't a fantasy. It was an actual option, one worth taking seriously and planning toward carefully. So that's what I'm doing, and this channel is where I document all of it. If you want to follow this journey as I research countries, run the real numbers, and build an actual plan, hit subscribe and turn on notifications so you don't miss a video. Check the description and the pinned comment below for helpful resources on this topic as well. Alright, here's what this channel is going to cover, because I want you to know what you're signing up for. First, money. Not in a shame spiral way, but in a clear-eyed, what can we actually work with way. That means looking honestly at budgeting from wherever you are right now, understanding how to maximize your Social Security benefit, and finding small income streams that can make a real difference when your cost of living drops significantly. Second, countries. Specific ones, not the highlights reel version, the real cost of living picture. What does rent actually run in these places? Food? Healthcare? Transportation? Visas? I'm going to dig into the details so you don't have to start from scratch every time. Third, slow travel as a retirement strategy. Here's something I've learned. You don't have to pick one country and commit forever. Some people spend a few months in one place, a few months in another. That flexibility can actually cost less than planting permanent roots somewhere, and it lets you test a place before you commit to it. That idea appeals to me a lot, and I'm going to explore it seriously. And fourth, the practical stuff that the travel videos skip. What happens to your Medicare if you leave the United States? How do you receive Social Security payments internationally? How do you manage banking and taxes across borders? How do you get health care coverage abroad, especially with existing conditions? These are real questions that people in our situation need real answers to, and I'm going to find them. I don't have all the answers yet. That's the whole point. I'm not the expert at the end of the journey. I'm the person at the beginning of it, doing the research, sharing what I find, and being honest about all of it. Because here's what I've come to believe. The people who figure this out aren't the ones who had the most money to start with. They're the ones who decided they were going to figure it out and then actually started. That's what I'm doing. And if you're in your 50s or 60s feeling behind, and you've let yourself wonder even once whether there might be another way, I hope you'll stick around. We're going to figure this out together, one video at a time. If you appreciate me making this type of content, let me know by hitting that like button. It helps the channel reach more people who need exactly this conversation. And if you want to go deeper, I made a video on places where Social Security is enough to retire on. You can watch it right here. I'll see you there.